So you take a look at Gabriel Chacon, 30 years of age. 0-1, had a tough loss. His pro debut.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing his opponent, out of the red corner, Benny Aguilar.
Aguilar, another fan favorite, bringing it close to about 70, 80 fans to tonight's show. His first 3 fights have been electric knockouts against very low-level opposition. But look, at the end of the day, despite the opponent being winless, it's still a nice little step up for him. 3 consecutive knockouts, seeing if he can extend that to 4 this evening.
He brought out a
Ladies and gentlemen, our following bout is scheduled for 4 rounds. Referee Emil Lombardi. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with the white trim, coming to us from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with a professional record of no wins against just 1 defeat. He weighed in at 137 pounds. This is Gabriel Chacon. And his opponent, across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the blue trunks trimmed with white and gold, fighting out of Crescent City, Florida, with an unblemished professional record of 3 wins, no losses. All 3 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He weighed in at 137 pounds. This is Benny Aguilar.
Close attention to my commands. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up and wait for you.
All right, guys, it'll be slated for 4. Aguilar in the blue trunks, Chacon in the black trunks. Aguilar, a fan favorite as well. And I know, Brian Adams, you had a chance to speak with Aguilar a little bit.
Yeah, I had a chance to speak with him yesterday during the weigh-in. One of the things he wanted to highlight was to please call him Tony. But he says he's here to win. He has a lot of energy. Ask him boxer puncher. He says, I'm going to be whatever I have to be in there. So, which means he's well-rounded.
He brought out a huge fan contingent tonight also. A lot of people went crazy when he came out.
Just 21 years of age. His opponent, Chacon, 30. Fights out of San Diego, California.
And it's funny, I asked him, I said, can you fight? He said, you'll see.
Oh, good combination by Aguilar. Up top, Chacon in trouble. Body shot downstairs.
This action is beautiful. A nice slipping also.
Oh, great head movement, too. Answering Brian Adams' questions in round number 1.
Chacon is fighting back, though. And he's making those little moves. And that way the punches aren't landing as solid as Aguilar would like.
And Willie, you mentioned he making little moves. There's little subtle moves that the audience really won't see. If you look at the action, Tony had him against the ropes and started pounding away.
Right.
By the time Tony finished his combinations, they were damn near in the center of the ring.
Yeah.
He was able to maneuver and push Tony to the middle of the ring.
And that's what I was talking about when I alluded to those small moves. If Aguilar doesn't place his punches right, he's going to do it again right here. He's going to fight his way off the ropes. And those little small shoulder and hip movements are going to get him out of there.
Uppercut
and he's fighting back off of him, too.
Yeah, Chacon's fighting off the ropes. Yep.
What we alluded to earlier. Catch and go. Catch and go.
Now they meet back in the center of the ring. Momentarily. Aguilar trying to pepper the body with some lefts. Keeping that stick out there.
Chacon is definitely committed to jabbing, which is always something I like to see.
Right, because it creates an openings and you can see things off the jab.
Body shots again by Aguilar. Great head movement.
Aguilera is shooting. Every punch has steam on it, and then Chacon works out again. Those little moves we were talking about.
This is where Chacon wants to fight.
Yeah. Aguilera has to be careful. His punches are a little bit wider, a little bit fatter. And Chacon isn't as explosive, but he's very compact.
Nice combination right there by Chacon.
Very nice combination by Chacon. He catches and goes. He catches and goes.
A fast moving round number 1. All right, 1 in the books. Brian Adams.
I was going that first round to Aguilera, rightfully. I mean, he worked a little hard. He did press him. But I think Chacon has something figured out. He's figured out that if he keeps his hands up and catches, he can catch Aguilera in the middle of something. I think Aguilera should tighten his punches up just a little bit more because they're a little more wider, a little more fat than Chacon's. And you can get caught with something very sharp on the inside or something like that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I just think that Chacon, he is trying to pace himself and figure out what adjustments he needs to make. And Tony, the volume of punches is going to keep him going. So it's an interesting matchup. Will Chacon be able to stop the onslaught of punches by Tony? We'll see.
He's got to do that if he's got to establish a jab in some capacity and keep the fight in the middle of the ring.
Yep. Yeah, stay off the ropes, obviously.
Aguilar.
Like he starts and ends with the jabs. He's like very committed to the basics. See those little moves right there? He's off the ropes.
Speaking of Aguilar, or speaking of Chacon, Aguilar.
Chacon.
Chacon.
Yeah, Chacon. He's very textbook.
Yeah, everything off the jab.
Yep,
Jab
everything off
first.
the
Yeah,
jab.
yeah.
And it's not always a snappy jab. He switches
Right,
up.
yep.
It'll be like a little tappy jab, a
right.
little flick jab.
Just to get your reaction.
Yep.
Somewhat crafty
Elbow
too.
on my waiting.
That's, we've seen that with some fighters in yesteryear and years past. That jab is kind of crafty to bait them, to draw them in a little bit.
I like the way Chacon keeps his right hand up. We call it talking on the phone. He keeps that hand right there in the pocket. He shoots, it comes off the chin and right back there.
A little more slower pace, round number 2.
And this pace favors Chacon. Tony needs volume of punches.
Like we were talking earlier, that Michael Myers pace. He's at that same pace, but it works. Nice over.
This is not where Chacon wants to be, up against the ropes. Aguilar with a couple
Aguilar's
body
digging.
shots. Yep.
But Chacon gets out of there again.
And this is also where we talked about where you might look at Chacon and say, well, the guy's 30, he's had one fight. There's a reason he was matched against Aguilar.
Right.
A young kid, prospect, try to frustrate him, and as we've heard a lot of times, kind of take him where he's not used to being.
Yep. But he's there and he's poised. He's in the zone. He looked like he's found something that he wants to work on. He's catching. See, Chacon landed the cleaner of that exchange right there. Simply.
Ooh,
And
good
again,
counter again by Chacon. Aguilar trying to go up top.
because his hands are up and he's working off of the basics. He catches and he goes.
And I think Chacon had the timing of Aguilera now.
And
Which is
again,
making it successful with his counter punches.
It's a good round for Chacon.
See, he's catching and going. He has the timing of Aguilera.
Double body shot downstairs by Aguilar.
By Aguilera. Aguilera swinging up. Nice body shot by Aguilera.
All arm punches by Aguilera, though. He's not putting his body into
Yeah,
those
Chacon
shots.
is like really sitting down and placing those punches the right way, right, like that right there.
Yep.
Would you like to see Aguilar kind of step back and create a little distance when he has him up against the ropes?
And he should do what Chacon is doing, which is starting and ending with the jab.
Everything is left hook start.
Yeah.
Good round for Chacon. And in a
That
four-round
was a
fight.
very close round.
Yeah.
I don't know who to give that round to. It was very close.
I get around to Chacon, so I
That
have
round
it
Chacon.
1-1.
Yeah, I think there was 10 to 15 second, a little flurries here and there. But that's a round where I would also look at it and say I'm giving it to Chacon because of ring generalship.
I think Chacon won the round. I think Aguilera, because of his explosiveness, won the drama of the round. But I think Chacon actually won the round. And we're hoping that the judges sitting ringside are judging this on who's winning the round, not who's winning the drama of the round.
It's almost like a disclaimer. You got to hammer home the point when you have a hometown kid.
Well, both fighters are doing well. I just think Chacon is a little more compact and good at catching and going. And he's catching Aguilera in the middle of what he's doing.
Yeah, Chacon's not really getting hit clean. He getting hit with some nice body shots, but other than that, he's not getting hit clean.
And that's what we alluded to earlier when we were talking about those little maneuvers, how he gets off the ropes and he keeps his hands up right.
And it also talks to your point, too, with the volume of punches, right? The quantity as opposed to the quality of the punches. You're throwing, that's great, but if you're not landing...
Right. That was a nice body shot by Aguilera. That was a really nice body shot.
Aguilar black, blue trunks.
Another
Chacon
choppy right
black.
hand right there by Chacon. He catches Aguilera coming in.
Right, he kind of picks and chooses. He'll get in, he'll peck a little, and then he'll come back out.
Nice 1-2 by Aguilera. Nice jab, nice right hand by Aguilera.
Off the jab, off the jab.
As soon as Aguilera started using his jab a little bit more, the punches start coming together.
And Chacon again wisely ties him up, tries to bring the fight back to the center of the ring.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, good uppercut by Aguilar. Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of been the theme of the fight, though, right? Flurry of punches, break out. Flurry of punches.
Still like Aguilera's. Oh, nice hook right hand by Chacon.
Aguilar says nothing doing. Brush the shoulder.
And then this round is coming down to, what the judges like.
I was exactly going to say that.
It's an even round. It just depends on what you're looking at.
Under a minute to go, round number 3 slated for 4. Aguilar Chacon.
Aguilar seems to still have that explosive power and speed. A lot of energy. Both guys having a good jab right there.
This is an even match.
Yeah, this is
And I thought you guys brought up 2 great points. When you start to talk about the punches, listen, for the ones viewing at home, and we hear the fans with the oohs and ahs, look, sometimes that can sway the judge, and sometimes it doesn't sway the judges.
It definitely can.
If I was Chacon, I would allow Aguilera to throw that hook, because he slaps with the hook.
Yep. And he always catches the hook with his right hand.
That's why you make him throw it. Catch it and count on that right hand.
Your right hand, exactly. I'm with you, champ. 10 seconds ago.
All right, we'll head into the 4th and final round.
I'm really loving Chacon's head movement, man. He's making Aguilera miss, man. This is to me right now, it's a dead even fight. 1 round to go.
We always talk about it. It's the matchups within the matchup, right? And then with a 4-round fight, do you abandon the game plan? Do you mix it up? Do you go for broke? I mean, that's the battle within the battle, and that's always being discussed in the corners. Good crowd this evening. Packed. Absolutely. As much as we can get in capacity-wise, good-looking crowd this evening. They've been into the fights, a lot of passion, a lot of juice, as we like to say. We've got some great knockouts, some good action, and the action continues. This is the 4th and final round. Tony Aguilar against Gabriel Chacon. They'll touch him up. It's been a good fight. Technically sound, good fight.
Yeah.
Crowd certainly getting their money's worth this evening.
He had to wipe water off of his trunk.
Aguilar doubled up,
Yeah, Aguilar's
downstairs,
landing some
yeah,
clean
left
shots
hook up
now.
top, yep.
His shots are starting to find their mark. Little defensive moves by Aguilar right there, and a comeback.
Yeah, and Chacon's got to get off that stick again, get off the ropes. This is not where he wants to be.
Not where he wants to be, but he's also not being hit.
But as long as Aguilera keeps throwing the volume of punches, it just becomes a numbers game.
Yeah. Still has to be careful to not be so wide with those punches because Chacon is still throwing very sharp. And his punches are more acute than Aguilera's.
Good combination of punches by Chacon, absolutely. Doubled up, tripled up that left jab, went downstairs a couple times.
This fight has good ebbs and flows.
You know, Chacon reminds me. I'm sitting here watching older fighter, Greg Hagen. That's what Chacon reminds me.
Yeah. Very sharp, hands up. With
Yeah,
everything.
solid. You see nothing special, but
Does nothing great, but does everything well.
yep.
It's just yeoman-like.
Yeah.
Collar upper, yeoman-like.
But those are the guys you have to be careful with, man. It's like the turtle. What do they say? The tortoise in the hair.
That's
Right.
right.
You got to be
Who wins the
careful with
race?
guys like that. Slow and steady wins the race.
Tell you what, you get an A+ tonight for just the analogies all over. Picking up the phone, dialing the phone, Freddie Myers, or Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, everything.
Thank you. That's a huge compliment coming from you.
I don't know about that. That's the deep thinker in you. Brian Adams over there is the one who just buries us with compliments.
I'm in a good mood tonight.
It's the hat. It's the style on the hat. Just missed with that uppercut as Aguilar.
yeah,
Absolutely.
You could tell that's something he wanted to land all night because he's been shooting it, but he's been missing.
Under 30 to go, fourth and final round. Chacon and Aguilar.
And Chacon is still using those basics, and he's getting through.
Little welt under Chacon's right eye.
Nice left hook by Chacon. Another left hook by Chacon.
You mentioned the ebb and flow. We'll see if it proves to be the difference for one of these fighters respectively.
Let's see what the judges have to say.
I'll give Brian about 5 more seconds because I know he's tallying up his unofficial
I scored a
scorecard.
draw, 38-38.
The draw.
Good match. Good matchup.
Very good match.
So if I was to stay old school, I would say Greg Hagen versus Jorge Paez.
Then give me about 4 more rounds.
Chacon, whether a win or loss tonight, he looks promising. He's going to be a tough guy.
Yeah, I was impressed with Chacon.
Especially once he starts fighting 6, 8, and 10.
Sure, yeah. And a good opponent for young and up-and-coming fighters, right? To get their feet wet and get tested. All right, so 4 in the books. We see if the judges have their decision. It looks like it's in hand. Back up top to Jay Pinkham.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Thomas Nardone and Alexander Levin scored about 39-37. Tina Griffith scores about 40-36, all for your winner by unanimous decision, Benny Aguilar.
So Tony Aguilar improves to 4-0. But I'll tell you what, that's a game effort by Gabriel Chacon. Brian Adams, the way he's looking at me, it's almost like I cut him off the road. It's a scoring issue.
Yeah, I didn't see 4 rounds.
No, I didn't see 40-36 either. I mean, you could make the argument that second round. Actually, you could have made the argument the second round you can give to Chacon. The third round, I think, is when the fight unfortunately started to settle in. But he also kept the fight in the middle of the in the ring, which again, you know how you score it's subjective.
Yeah, scoring is purely subjective.
This is why I alluded to earlier who won the round, but then who won the drama.
Right.
You know? The louder punches, more punches, the crowd going crazy like he just alluded to earlier. The crowd going that way, it swayed the judges.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not like
Ladies and gentlemen,
he just wasn't landing.
if you have lost
a boxing purist would like.
a Dodge key, somebody has found a key to a Dodge. It's up at the DJ booth up here. So if you're looking for your key for your vehicle, we may have it up here at the DJ booth. Thank you.